Hi Josh, welcome to your video feedback. I apologise if it's a little bit wobbly, I will sort that for the next time around. Okay, what I'm going to do is just talk through the piece as I read it and give you a few points of view. Okay, what I would say, you've done something similar with your introduction that a lot of other people have done. So I liked how this poem questions the way in which society is run. Which is what way? How does it question it? You need to be really specific here about what Kate's message was and how she got that across about society. Obviously, the how she got it across is the later part of your essay, but the start of it really needs to engage in exactly what her message is and what she's trying to say, and state it immediately. I don't want to have to find it out later on in your essay, so it needs to be in your introduction. It questions was resources. Okay, brilliant. So really, all you needed to do was just not separate this sentence from this paragraph here. If this went up here, okay, so that you've got them merged, then you're actually exploring that. What I would say is maybe why she's asking us to question that. Probably because we all go through society and life not really questioning the way we live, and that's the reason she's trying to question it. So I think you've got the theme, you've got the message there, but think about why she's actually writing about that. Why is it of importance? And then you're fully engaging with it. But you've got the message spot on. I think that's fantastic. Okay, so she claims there. Okay, what I would suggest here is this seems a little bit disconnected from the previous paragraph. What you've talked about here is life and money. And then you've moved on to stories, and although you're referring to poorest areas, which does connect to it, I think the most natural progression here would have been to explore how she gets across the idea of money and how we're so reliant on it. If you'd done that for your first paragraph, that would have made a lot more sense and would have been a lot more fluent. So I think maybe thinking in advance about your structure and making sure that you put things in the right order, so you move from one thing to another in a little bit more of a fluent way. I also think with this, it's a great point. So the poorest areas may have the most interesting stories, and I think that's fantastic. However, you need to get the evidence to back that up. So evidence is really important with that, because you've got a great idea, needs to be supported. So that's one thing to look at next time. You've used antithesis, yay, so you remember some terminology, that's good. Right, right, this is a fantastic paragraph. You've included some terminology, you've integrated the quote perfectly, that it is hard, that's fantastic, and you've thinking about the message communicated by the statement. You've written academically, you've got good vocabulary, that is a really, really good paragraph. I'd say the only thing it needs, okay, is the connection with the previous paragraph. That's something that you really need to work on, so your fluency in between paragraphs. So looking at how you could have connected that. Okay, good. All it really needed there then was a little sentence just saying that, yeah, so these people have become better through experiencing failure. Kate uses antithesis to illustrate this point, okay? So you just need to reiterate your point in a much clearer way, then go into the terminology to support it. Try not to start your paragraphs with terminology, because chances are that won't be a direct link to the paragraph before it. So you need a little bit of an intro sentence to your idea, and then support it with your terminology and analysis. Okay, that's a fair assumption. I think some poems are very difficult to engage with, just like some writing is, but it's good that you got that from this and that you were able to interpret it and relate to it, which was really nice. You could be right in the fact that it is more common and it is about modern society, but hopefully you'll come across some other poems within the collection for the coursework that will have the same effect on you, I hope. Spelling, punctuation and grammar was brilliant throughout, by the way. A real strength of yours, which is good. So your terminology needs improvement. Yeah, more's needed. I've suggested a couple of places where evidence would be required, so get that in there. Yeah, analysis is definitely personal. It's just through your explanation of it and making sure that your explanation is clear enough that we can understand it. So that's all that you really need to do with your analysis. What I would say, main points for improvement are the fluency, making sure that it flows together and making sure that the whole piece is well structured, so that you're moving from one point to the next quite fluently. Using frameworks for that, so suggested frameworks from Unit 1 and 2 last year, those kinds of things will help. So look at one idea in one paragraph before moving on, and make sure it's fully explored. Okay, thanks Josh.